Good people of YouTube, my name is Spanner, welcome back to another episode of Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc. So, it's time for the for the fifth trial, and I'm not exactly sure what's going on with this trial, so first let's check the skills. I don't think we can... Increases focus gauge by 2, increases focus gauge by 5. Oh, I think I finally got one of those skills that I can't... Yeah, I got one of those skills that we can't equip with another similar skill active at the same time. So these are basically the same, but menacing is way stronger than extraordinary focus. Do I have anything else? I have vocabulary. Increases bullet capacity, effective during the bullet's time battle. That's interesting. I don't have enough skill points for that, but that's okay. This one is good. Oh, so many skills I haven't unlocked. Steadies your aim a little. Effective during non-stop debate and Hangman's Gambit. I think steady... I mean, I usually fire with... Oh, during Hangman's Gambit as well. I usually fire when I activate focus mode, so that would not be a problem, I don't think. How many bullets does this give me? I guess I could try it, just to max out our skill point use. Okay, let's see if I can make any sense of this. We have 18 truth bullets. So, what do we know so far? There's been a victim. We thought it... I mean, people thought it was Kyoko, but apparently it's the 16th student here. But then, who killed her? The identity is unknown, but they were dead, however, before the blast, because when Toko took out the mask, boom, explosion. The victim had been stabbed a single time with a knife, which went completely through the body. They had also been struck in the head with an object about as thick as a metal pipe. As thick as a metal pipe, huh? I was going to say the titanium arrows, but those are very thin. The body was covered with other wounds, but these were at least several days old. So the important thing here is stabbed a single time with a knife, which went completely through the body. Also struck in the head with an object about as thick as a metal pipe. Okay, the body analysis. The upper half of the body has been burnt beyond recognition. The upper half of the body remains on fire and had to be extinguished. Because of this, the upper half was soaking wet, while the bottom half remained dry. So this tells us one thing. Since the bottom half is dry, that means the body was not here. The body was, this person was not killed. Well, let me phrase this better. The body was not here before the sprinklers activated at 7:30 AM. And that would give us an alibi, because we were with everyone at 7:30. That means the body had to go there after. Fake nails. The body was wearing notably long fake nails. I'm not sure about this one. Is this even relevant? I thought, I mean, Kyoko is alive, she just appeared. I thought this might be a clue as to why it couldn't be Kyoko, because she always wears gloves, and with the fake nails, as long as those, maybe not. We have the tattoo on the right hand. We can see it's really it's the Fenrir tattoo from the mercenary group we found. And we have the file here from Mukuro Ikusaba, the 16th student. And she was she was a member of Fenrir, and every member of Fenrir gets a tattoo somewhere on their body. So that's what this is. This probably confirms the identity. Now this is a piece of the bomb that we removed from the dismantled Monokuma. So that means something. Someone took the bomb we had there and rigged the body in the garden to explode. So once again, this had to occur after we left the gym to go to the headmaster's room. So when could this have happened? So we got there at 9, around 9. Then Byakuya told Toko to go to the garden and get the pickaxe to break the door. Toko reappeared and told us there was a body. So not a lot of time this could have happened, unless it was Toko. But Toko was with everyone else. She couldn't have placed the body there. She could have placed the bomb, but she could not have placed the body. Could it be Kyoko? I doubt Kyoko could get the bomb and then rig it in the rig the body with it in such a small amount of time. Yeah, I'm assuming it's the same bomb because the bomb which had been removed from Monokuma had disappeared. It's not a similar bomb. Okay, this is about the sprinklers. Sprinklers are programmed to come on every morning at 7:30, and this time is impossible to change. It can be assumed that if the body had been in the garden before 7:30, it would have gotten wet. Okay, here is the timeline when the body was found. So at 7 AM we wake up to the morning announcement. At 7:30, which is when the sprinklers go activate, Makoto and Aoi arrive in the dining hall. So yeah, I believe this will be our alibi. Makoto meets the others in the gym, and together they head to the headmaster's room from 7:30 to 9 AM. 9 AM, Toko is told to find the pickaxe in the garden where she discovers the body. So, I don't know, the getting of the bomb and placing of the bomb near the body is so... it's so... there's not enough time, I don't think. The knife found near the body was the same knife that was used to stab it before the explosion. It is also the same knife that Toko had given to Makoto for safekeeping, and the knife the masked assailant was holding when they attacked Makoto. So we haven't told anyone about this yet. Interesting. Then there is the tarp that was in the tool shed. It's a new one. It's a new item, it wasn't there before. One side was wet and filthy, with mud and grime. The other side was completely clean and dry. So I was assuming this would I was assuming this might be covering the body to prevent it from getting wet. But one side, but it's wet and filthy with mud and grime. The other side is completely clean, so I could understand the wetness. I don't understand the mud and the grime, unless it's it was the body was in. But the body wasn't dirty, was it? The wet part would have to be up. That's the side that had to be up. But then I don't get mud. I was thinking maybe the body was dragged through the muds on that tarp. That doesn't really make sense. A chicken is missing. I don't understand this one. Byakuya stated that there was no corpse in the garden just after nighttime last night. So it can be assumed that the murder must have taken place sometime after that. And Byakuya also said that he, Yasuhiro, Toko, and Aoi were in the gym the entire night, and none of them were alone at any point. The corpse had a mask covering its head and a white jacket covering the body. A knife had been thrust into the abdomen, and there were blood stains around the wounds. The body had stopped bleeding, but the blood was still wet. It was noted, however, that there was no blood on the ground around the body. That's very interesting. So maybe the body was moved after all, yeah. Okay, this is about Mukuro Ikusaba. This is Monokuma's account saying that Mukuro Ikusaba exists and is in fact the 16th student, and also revealed the reason Kyoko wears gloves is to hide something she doesn't want anyone to see. Although, this says something, but Monokuma specifically mentioned scars. Okay, we got this from Kyoko's room to open one of the lockers to the dojo. There we found 10 titanium arrows. Not sure how these are relevant. And this. A wadded ball of duct tape in the locker. The duct tape had traces of blood on it. It's assumed that this is related to the case, but nobody can imagine how. I don't understand this one. Was it used as some sort of bandage or something? I mean, why use duct tape after all? And Kyoko used Monokuma's secret tool to grant access to any room in the school to sneak into the second floor of the dorms. This area seems to have no monitors or security cameras. I don't know. This is all very weird. I mean, the only one who could have done it is Kyoko, right? Unless it's another suicide or something. Or Monokuma did it. Or maybe that's not even Mukuro Ikusaba. I mean, the tattoo basically confirms it, right? Okay, we'll see what happens.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial, so your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment, but if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate. Okay, well, I'll leave the rest up to you.
Well then, let's discuss the specifics of the victim. First, we need to clarify who exactly the unidentified victim is. It's Kyoko, there's no other explanation. Are you a goddamn idiot? Seriously though, I know you get a bad rap for being an idiot, but come on! You just saw Kyoko alive. But Kyoko's standing right there. No, that's a ghost. That's a ghost man. But she has legs and stuff. Well, that's just because she's like the latest evolution in ghost technology. There's a limit to how much ridiculousness I can tolerate. Okay, so I just have to prove that the corpse isn't Kyoko, right? Then let's compare Kyoko's traits to the traits of the dead body. Do we really have to do this? Her traits. One important trait that Kyoko has that proves the body doesn't belong to her. Her gloves. I'm talking about her gloves. They'll give us some insight into the mystery, I'm sure of it. In that case, I think it would be helpful if someone explained why she actually wears those gloves. And would you happen to know the answer? In fact, Monokuma told me. Apparently you have scars on your hands you don't want anyone to see. Oh, you know, now that I think about it, the corpse wasn't wearing any gloves, right? They probably just got burned up in the explosion. I'm not convinced. The ghost is just trying to fool us all. There's no way that corpse was Kyoko. But if I can't prove why, we're gonna be stuck here and the case won't move forwards. So I don't have any choice but to... fake nails, I guess. That Kyoko there is just a ghost. Impossible. Okay, then prove it. Prove she's not a ghost. The dead body wasn't wearing gloves. They got burned up in the explosion. Then she was wearing gloves before the explosion? Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves. Because that corpse is absolutely Kyoko. This entire discussion is idiotic. Okay, fake nails. Oh, or maybe the body before? Hold on. Or maybe the body before the explosion? I don't see any gloves there. Now let's try this one. Oh no, this is the exploded body and now. Okay, never mind. It's the fake nails. Yeah, I thought I read body. It's not the bullet we had. It's not the body before the explosion. It's the exploded body analysis. No. No, there's no way the corpse was wearing gloves. Whoever it was, they were wearing fake nails, remember? I imagine trying to wear gloves over nails like that would have been a pretty big pain. Besides, Kyoko wears gloves to hide her hands, right? It would be pretty weird for someone who's self-conscious about their hands to wear fake nails, don't you think? Geez man, you don't know women, huh? They're complicated like that. If anyone doesn't know women, it's you. Well, Kyoko, any thoughts? These gloves were custom made to the size of my hands to make sure they don't interfere with my daily life. If I wore fake nails, the gloves wouldn't fit properly. Then that's that. The dead body doesn't belong to Kyoko. Which should have been obvious since she's standing right here. Okay, so then who's the real victim? First we need to figure that out. That's the first thing I said. You're the one who's been dragging us around in circles. Before anything, we have to identify the victim. Everything starts from there. Okay, what argument do we have to make? We have the fragments, sprinklers, body analysis, fake nails, and the tattoo. If Kyoko really is still alive, then who died? There's gotta be some way to figure it out. I don't think so, the face was scorched beyond recognition. And there wasn't any description in the Monokuma file. Well, if we can't identify the body, then there's nothing we can do, right? Okay, we have the body analysis, the fake nails, the tattoo, the fragments, and the sprinklers. The tattoo, maybe? Okay, we can't contradict that the face was scorched. We can identify. Ah, damn it! I missed. I didn't bullet time. We can identify the body. Yeah, this works. There was one clue left behind that we can use to identify the body. What? For real? If you're lying, you lie cruel and unusual death? A cruel and unusual death, this I gotta see. She's just being stupid, ignore them, Makoto. Tell us what you're talking about. The key to figuring out who it was is the tattoo on the back of her hand. Oh yeah, the design's pretty strange, huh? Is this a dog? Her master must have made her get it, to be like, you're my bitch? Seriously, they really did something that humiliating. No, that's not it. The identity of the victim is hidden within the tattoo. Whoa, really? If you compare the tattoo to other information we have, the victim's identity should become clear. So the information we have, is it just the profile? Yeah, the profile mentions the tattoo. The Fenrir Mercenary Corps, that's the name of the military group Mukuro Ikusaba belonged to. Okay, so to show that they're a member of the team, each soldier that joins the squads would get a tattoo representing Fenrir somewhere on their body. Fenrir? The image that represents Fenrir is... Oh, is this the Hangman's Gambit? Really? 4 letters? Yeah. Oh, and then O as a second letter. I wonder what it could be. Oh, I have the O. Never mind. Never mind. You saw nothing. It's a wolf. I didn't notice any... I didn't notice worse aim since we removed that skill at the beginning. The representation of Fenrir is a wolf. Fenrir, the Wolf of Ragnarok, it's from Norse mythology, a huge world-ending wolf beast. He's the child of the trickster god Loki and the female giant. Man, after all this time we finally got a glimpse of the literary all-star. A wolf tattoo, then that means... Exactly, the body we found had a tattoo of a wolf, which means that person must have once belonged to Fenrir. So it must have been Mukuro. What? Hold on, isn't she the one that was behind this whole thing?
Ha ha ha, you sound surprised, but you're absolutely right. Yes, indeed, the trial this time is to solve the murder of Mukuro Ikusaba.
What, are you saying the mastermind is dead and now we have to have a class trial? No, it means we were wrong in thinking that Mukuro was the mastermind at all. But I mean, being the ultimate despair seems like a pretty mastermindy title to me. Maybe we shouldn't have been thinking of her as the ultimate despair in the first place. After all, looking at her profile, I didn't see anything that would fit such a description. All it said was that she was the ultimate soldier. If I remember correctly, that other information came from Kyoko. That's what you told Makoto, right? So that means Kyoko got it wrong. Then who was she? Who was Mukuro Ikusaba? I have such a weird feeling right now. My gut tells me that Kyoko is the ultimate despair, but that she was somehow related to Mukuro or something like that. We'll see. She's been gone this whole time, and when she finally turns up, she gets killed. Usually when there's a scene when an important character dies, it has a lot more detail. So you're saying she wasn't an important character? Which would mean she was the same as... us, just another participant. Then who's the real mastermind? It must have been the Hope Speak Academy headmaster after all. No, the headmaster has nothing to do with it. Wait, didn't... Oh no, Kyoko mentioned that the head... I don't remember. When we talked to Kyoko before, did she mention that the headmaster was definitely involved or wasn't involved? I think it wasn't. But how can we trust that? We already know your information about Mukuro was wrong. My information was not wrong.
Okay, we're in the middle of a trial right now. Figuring out who killed Mukuro is first and foremost. Please limit all future prattle, chatter and chit-chat as much as possible.
And another thought I had early on was that the dead body was Junko somehow, and the body was just planted there as a distraction. Mostly because of the boots and the nails. But then the tattoo, that really did not match at all. That's why I think that theory is just not possible at all.
Please limit all future prattle, chatter and chit-chat as much as possible.
Fine, uncovering the identity of the mastermind will have to wait. But remember this. No matter what happens, we will find out who you really are. I stake my family name on it.
I have officially decided to completely ignore all such attempts at provocation. Now then, just so nobody's confused, let me state this one more time for the records. The reason we're having a class trial is because a murder among the students has taken place. Hammer that point straight into your big old brains.
What you're saying is that both the victim and the culprit are part of the student body. Then one of us killed Mukuro. Wait, no, there's a chance that there's some mystery 17th person who's been hiding all along.
Nope, there are only 16 students in total that have been taking part in these events.
Seriously, then one of us killed Mukuro. Who did it? Who's the killer this time? Get a hold of yourself. We've already narrowed down the list of possible suspects. Huh? I'm sure you realize who I'm talking about, right, Makoto? Who the evidence points to? Based on what we know, there can only be two suspects. Makoto and Kyoko. You've narrowed it down to Kyoko and me, right? Why do you say that? Allow me to explain. Just after nighttime last night, I went to the garden, so I can confirm that at that point there was no dead body there. The tarp could have been used to hide the body. The body could have been there longer. So, the murder must have taken place after I left the garden. However, Hiro, Toko, Hina and I were in the gym the entire time. The gym? That's right, the four of us were there trying to dismantle Monokuma. The whole time we were very careful not to go anywhere alone. We even went to the bathroom in pairs. All of which is to say, the four of us all have alibis. The only ones without alibis are me and Makoto. That's why you're able to narrow down the list of suspects. Exactly so. So the only suspects now are me and Kyoko. Damn it, I can't let this stand. Somehow I have to clear my name. I have something I'd like to say regarding the whole alibi thing. Are you thinking of raising an objection? Well, before that, I just want to try and get a better idea of what time the murder took place. Doing that might reveal some kind of clue. Whatever you want. Somebody go ahead and help him out. Me and Byakuya can both confirm that the body wasn't in the garden at... Well, it was after nighttime for sure. I'd say it must have been around 10 o'clock. So the murder must have happened after 10 PM. Then I guess we can say the time frame for the murder was between then and when we found the body. Oh, but what time did we find the body? The one who saw the body first was Toko, right? When she went to go get the pickaxe. So what time was the body discovered? At 9 o'clock. The body must have been discovered at 9 AM, since that's when Toko went to get the pickaxe. No then, Toko, what time is it? Well, when we left the gym it was just before 9 o'clock, so it's probably 9 on the dot now. Okay, go get the pickaxe and be back here by 9:01. He's right, it had to be around then. So we can be totally sure the murder happened sometime between 10 at night and 9 in the morning. For me, I was already asleep before nighttime hit, so I don't have an alibi after 10 o'clock. But I'm sure I met up with everyone else before 9 this morning. We ran into each other in the dining hall, right? That was around... oh yeah, right around 7:30. I remember checking right before I went in, so I'm totally sure about it. Which means from 10 PM to 7:30 AM, you don't have an alibi. The murder happened between 10 PM and 9 AM, and I don't have an alibi from 10 PM till 7:30 AM. Okay, then it looks like the game has begun. If I can't provide an alibi for that period, then I just have to prove the murder didn't happen during the time I don't have an alibi. Okay, what do we have? Fragments, sprinklers, probably the sprinklers. I'll load the sprinklers. We've established a time frame for the murder. It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock at night and 9 o'clock in the morning. Yup, and Makoto doesn't have an alibi for most of that time. Yeah, from 10 o'clock to 7:30. That's more than enough time to commit murder, I should think. So Makoto, if you have any objections, now would be the time. Okay. So which one do I... okay, we know it happened between 10 o'clock at night and 9... okay, we can't contradict that, so it must be the other one. Oh. Wait. Sprinklers, exploded body analysis, fake nails. Maybe the fragments. No, Makoto mentioned there's something that happens. Right? Okay, let's... The incident took place in the garden, right? If I remember, there's something that happens there every morning at a certain time. Time frame for the murder? It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock at night. Yeah, we can't contradict that. And 9 o'clock in the morning. We don't have an alibi from 10 o'clock to 7:30. Oh, the exploded body analysis. Maybe because it was not wet? Because the sprinklers did not work. We're running out of time, actually. This one? No. Huh. Do I need to collect the 7:30 and hit the 10 PM? No, that does not matter. Exploded body analysis. The upper half was soaking wet while the bottom half remained dry. Sprinklers. Every morning at 7:30. It can be assumed that if the garden had been in the garden before 10:30, it would have gotten wet. Why does... Did I mess this up somehow? Running out of time, running out of time. No, it does not work. Huh? Okay, we're about to run out of time. Body analysis. Fake nails. Time's up. Damn it. Yeah, we failed. We're the culprits. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, what am I doing wrong here? Let me look through all of these bullets. Okay, not the sprinklers apparently. Not the tattoo, not the fake nails. Maybe the fragments. But Makoto mentioned there's something that happened in the garden. I can't contradict the 10 o'clock. I don't think. But I can... No. Maybe it's the 10 o'clock. Or maybe I'll just try collecting the 7:30. That does not. That makes no sense. Yeah, there's no other things I can shoot here. No. Yeah, I didn't think so. It was stupid. Okay, time frame. It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock at night. I can't contradict that. And 9 o'clock in the morning. We don't have an alibi. Yeah, from 10 o'clock to 7:30. What about the fragments? Don't work. Oh, I have no idea what I'm doing. Should be the sprinklers, but I can't... Do I shoot 10 o'clock with the sprinklers? What? This makes no sense at all. Oh no, wait! No! I'm thinking about this the wrong way. Never mind, never mind. No. The sprinklers, yeah, the sprinklers prove we had an alibi for 7:30. But no, it's the other thing. We have to prove that the murder didn't take place near 10 o'clock. That's right. I was too busy trying to get an alibi for 7:30. Actually, the murder couldn't have happened anywhere near 10 o'clock. It had to have taken place way later. And what makes you say that? Because of the sprinklers in the garden. Wait, but if the body was dry... I'm too confused right now. The sprinklers are set to go off right at 7:30 every morning, right? Oh yeah. Never mind. So if the body had been in the garden before 7:30, apparently I don't know how to work with time. Then it should have been completely soaked. Hold on, I remember this part perfectly. The body was wet, dripping wet in fact. Sorry, Toko, but you're wrong. I'm wrong? How? Are you saying only the mouth down south was wet? How dare you spew such indecent words? No, I'm saying that the body was wet, but not because of the sprinklers. What do you mean? By denying the sprinkler, are you trying to deny my entire existence? Man, you're totally wacko. If you really think it wasn't the sprinkler, you'd better tell us why. I need to prove that it wasn't the sprinklers that got the body wet. All I have to do is hit Toko with certain evidence and that should do it. Okay, so the exploded body analysis, I would think. Oh, really? I need to do this? I mean, Byakuya was there with me! He saw me dump the water on the body to yeah, to put the fire out. Oh. Okay, time for our super focus. Okay, oh, we have to select explosive body analysis. Okay, this works. I mean, Byakuya just mentioned something. We have to do this. Just remember what the body was like after the explosion, and you'll see why it wasn't the sprinklers. The top half of the body was wet, yes, but the bottom half was completely dry. If the sprinklers got the body wet, shouldn't the whole body have been wet? So they only got the top wet? The bottom was completely dry? What a brutal maniac. I'm so sick of her. Let's just move on. The reason only the top half was wet was because while the body was still on fire, I doused it with water, but only the part on fire, the top half. Oh, then I guess the sprinklers really didn't do it? So if the sprinklers didn't get the body wet, then the murder must have taken place sometime after the sprinklers turned on at 7:30 in the morning. Which means she must have been killed sometime between then and when the body was discovered at 9. But Makoto's alibi was only missing from 10 o'clock last night to 7:30 this morning, right? So there's no way Makoto could have done it. I guess you had an alibi after all. Good for you. In which case, the only one left without an alibi is Kyoko. Kyoko's the only one without an alibi. Which would mean that Mukuro's killer is. No, I refuse to believe it. Kyoko murdered someone? That's... I'd just like to say one thing. If you vote for me and I die here, the mystery of this school will stay hidden forever. Which is why I can't let that happen. Huh? So are you saying you're not the culprit? Of course I'm not. I have no reason to kill anyone. This is a trap the mastermind has laid for us. A trap?
Ha ha ha! We're this far into the game and now you decide to blame me? Stop wasting time, stop wasting energy. You really think your little trick is gonna work?
Shut up, you!
You got it, boss. Shutting up now.
Anyway, Kyoko, you actually did have a reason to kill her.
Huh? She did?
She thought Mukuro was the ultimate despair. In other words, the mastermind behind everything. So she killed her to try and put a stop to all this. Isn't that right, Kyoko? But you made one catastrophic mistake. Mukuro wasn't the mastermind at all. And as a result, we were forced into another trial, something I'm sure you weren't at all expecting. So, that was her motive? If she had a motive and no alibi, well then, I think it's pretty clear Kyoko's gonna be the culprit. I'm not the only one without an alibi. Makoto's explanation is still insufficient. Huh? The sprinklers didn't get the body wet, but that doesn't mean the murder happened when he said it did. What are you? Because you see, there is a way the body could have avoided getting wet. Interesting. I'm listening. all it would take is covering the body with a certain something to keep it from getting wet. A certain something at the scene was used to cover the body? Could it have been no. Tarp. But it was filthy with mud and grime. On the same side that it was wet. You're talking about the tarp, aren't you? You catch on quick. You're right. All you'd have to do is cover the body with the tarp, and that'll take care of the water. In fact, that's exactly what the killer did. The dirt pattern on the tarp can attest to that. Only one side of the tarp got dirty, because that's the side that got covered in water. Why is the water dirty? The side that faced down over the body, meanwhile, kept perfectly clean. This proves that the killer used the tarp to keep the body from getting soaked. But why would they go to all that effort just to keep the body from getting wet? Most likely so they could cloud the issue of when the murder actually took place. In other words, to create an excuse exactly like the one Makoto just gave us. Why would Kyoko say that? Why would she want to make me look like the killer? No, I can't think about that right now. That tarp, if it was used the way Kyoko said. The tarp must have touched the body, right? There was no blood on the body, on the tarp. But the body... Wait, something's not right. And what that might be. I can't worry about Kyoko's motivations. If I don't do something, everyone's gonna think I'm the killer. I have to refute what Kyoko said. Okay, how do we refute? The body before the explosion, probably. By covering the body with the tarp. The killer prevented it from getting wet. So the reason the tarp was only dirty on one side is because the sprinkler got that side wet. But the underside of the tarp, it was totally spotless, right? It's because that side was protected from the water, since it was facing down towards the body. Of course it didn't get dirty. Okay, so fragments, when the body was found, knife, body before the explosion. It's protected from the water. Facing down towards the body, didn't get dirty. Well, but there was blood on the body. And the blood was wet when we got there. Actually, one side being clean is pretty strange if you think about it. Because the blood wasn't dry before the body got blown up, right? Byakuya said it himself, not to touch it or you might get some on you. If you put a tarp on a body in that state, it absolutely would have gotten blood on it. Well, maybe the culprit washed it so nobody would know they'd used it. If they had, they would have washed both sides. Just washing the one side wouldn't hide anything. Oh, yeah, true. More than that, what if the very blood we saw on the body was meant as a kind of camouflage? Huh? The blood was camouflage? What if, after the killer used the tarp to avoid the sprinklers, they then covered the body in blood that didn't belong to the victim? You mean someone else's blood? Where would they get something like that? I know they could have grabbed some of the blood packs from the nurse's office. That's what Hifumi did, right? When he pretended to be dead. No, that's not what happened this time. The killer got the blood from right there in the garden. The chicken! Ah! Could it have been chicken blood? What? Chicken blood? When I checked the chicken coop before the murder, there were 5 chickens. but after the murder there were only 4. So you're saying someone killed a chicken and then covered the body with its blood? Man, that's messed up. That's messed up, man. Killing a living thing just to do something like that is awful. They should have at least eaten it. I wonder if the killer had to get the blood from the scene, so they wouldn't be spotted walking around. Anyway, there's no denying that the chicken went missing, which provides a basis for my theory. Perhaps, but even so, there's one thing that still doesn't make sense. You said the culprit used the tarp to avoid the water, and then covered the body in blood, right? But if that's the case, then the blood should have soaked into the ground around the body. But that's not what we saw. Only the victim's clothing had blood on it. The ground was completely clean. I have to agree, that certainly is strange. Maybe they didn't apply the blood at the scene. Maybe they covered the coat in blood beforehand. They covered it beforehand? When you discovered the body, was it wearing the coat like you normally would? I think so. Wait, no. The head was through the neck hole, but the arms weren't in the sleeves. Then that settles it. Sorry, I'm having a tough time keeping up. What settles what? Here's what happened. The murder took place before the sprinklers went off. But the body didn't get wet because the killer covered it with the tarp. Then later, at the same time the killer was gathering up the tarp, they pulled the coat over the body, the coat they'd already covered in blood. This series of cover-ups was meant to disguise the actual time the murder occurred. They wanted us to think the murder happened sometime after the sprinklers had gone off at 7:30. If that's actually what took place, it certainly becomes possible that the murder happened earlier. But to pull all that off, wouldn't they have had to go back to the garden after the sprinklers turned off? That actually wouldn't have been all that difficult. Huh? They already had the coat ready, so they just had to grab the tarp and pull the coat over the body. They'd be done in no time. So, was it Toko that did it maybe? She was the one that found the body after all. Maybe, but still. Hina, after you met up with Makoto in the dining hall, did you two stay together from that point on? Oh no, I headed off to the gym and Makoto didn't show up till later. Then he had plenty of time to spare, wouldn't you say? That's not. Don't bother saying it's not possible. Ugh. I must admit, Kyoko's reasoning is sound, Makoto's alibi is inadequate. And the suspicion falls back on me again. Okay, let's hit them with a fragment. But why? Why is Kyoko trying to entrap me? I don't understand. Oh, we got a new truth bullet. Okay, this guy's dead body. Well then, it looks like we're back to square one. Makoto's alibi is no good, so once again our suspects are him and Kyoko. For serious man, which one of them did it? Hey, why don't we let luck decide? Let's flip a coin, 50-50 odds. Oh. See, pretty good idea, right? No, not that, I just remembered something super serious. Well, don't just stand there. Out with it. You know that knife we found all black and burnt. The one we found stuck in the body before it exploded, right? According to the Monokuma file, the knife went all the way through from front to back. A knife wouldn't go... I don't think that knife would have gone all the way through the body. Would it? What if it was an arrow that pierced the body and the knife was placed there to disguise that wound? But then there's the hit to the head. So what about it? I'm pretty sure I'd seen that knife somewhere before. That's what I thought when I first saw it, I just remembered. Listen, more important. Now that we have the knife, what are we gonna do with it? We can't let Toko keep it, that's for sure. We don't know what she might do. I don't want it anyway. So what to do? Why don't you hang on to it, Makoto? Huh, me? What if it's Kyoko that did it? It could be. And this could be a test. To prove that we are ready to solve all the crimes once she's gone. It's the knife we gave to Makoto? You don't seem surprised. You must have noticed earlier. Yeah. Then why did you hide that fact? It's not that I hid it, it's just... I couldn't be sure of what actually happened last night. I thought maybe I really did kill her. Suspicious, very suspicious indeed. The knife we found stuck in the body came from Makoto. Now I'm totally convinced he did it. 12,000% convinced. Considering everything up till now, I should be able to make it clear. I have to prove that I didn't murder anyone. I'm not the killer.